From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBIC, the Primetime Capper. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. And it is time for the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles. So let's go ahead and jump into the state of the Lakers. The Lakers punched their ticket to Vegas last night. Big things popping. And they will be taking on the Pelicans as well. And, it's a great matchup because, it makes a lot of sense. 5 years removed from when Brandon Ingram was sent to the Pelicans. Then a year later, they were able to acquire Zion Williamson. So it never has really came to fruition yet with that duo taking over the NBA like you thought it could possibly be. But it's getting a little close there, and they're a pretty good duo. But last night, the Lakers took care of their business. Austin Reeves screaming out the emotional to go ahead and certify that the Lakers had won that game last night. It was a tough game, and it was a little controversial at the end with a missed call by the refs. It should have been probably a jump ball in that situation. But you know what? At the end of the day, there was a lot of things that were going on. It was kind of a chaotic game after a while. And, this is why everybody loved it, because they just let him play basketball. It wasn't about calling unnecessary fouls. It wasn't about catering to certain superstars or things like that. Guys had to hoop in this situation, man. And it seemed like defense had returned to the NBA. Like, literally, nobody was letting anybody do anything easy last night in that Suns-Lakers game. Now, you have a Suns team that, had to rely on KD as usual. 31 points last night, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Also, you had Devin Booker, who with his 21 points last night. And then they got 21 from Grayson Allen as well, too. And then after that, nobody scored in double digits. And that kind of was the big reason why this team did not win the game last night. They probably needed somebody else to be a significant scorer in this game, and they did not get that. It was a low-scoring game for NBA standards nowadays, 106-103. And, you have LeBron. He played 40 minutes last night to ensure the Lakers won this game. He had 31 points as well. He had 3 offensive rebounds to add into his 8 offensive rebounds, 11 assists, 5 steals last night, and this was something nobody had done since Magic Johnson. So, as a Laker, so it was absolutely nuts. And then you have Austin Reeves go for 20 points last night. That was very key to the win. And then you also had AD get his 27. Funny thing is, the Lakers didn't have anybody in double digits past that. Russell did get 8 points last night, but he was on spotty minutes last night. He only played half of the game last night. He played 24 minutes last night. He did struggle 3 of 11, but they kept with Austin Reeves last night, who really did help them win this game. And then Rue was a good bonus last night. It was good to have him back. And Vanderbilt's going to have to get that jump shot together, man. But he only had 2 attempts last night anyway. And, they had no Christian Wood. Like, Christian Wood didn't even play last night. That's kind of odd. But, Jackson Hayes was not really much better, but he did get some boards last night. So, all in all, when you look at the game, it was a very defensive game. Both teams did well. The Suns shot pretty good, but they just had too many turnovers. They had 20 turnovers, 10 of those in the first quarter. So it was a tough game for them last night. And the Lakers, you know what? They dominated the boards when it came to the offensive end. They had 21 offensive rebounds last night and 45 in total. But that means that, Phoenix took care of their business on the defensive side. So It wound up being a much, much closer game than it looked at the half because the Lakers were up 15 points and they were dominating on the defensive end. But, they just had a great quarter. They came back, found themselves right where they needed to be. And it just winds up being a game that comes down to the final plays, and it just did not go the Suns' way. So the Lakers move forward with a 106-103 win. Thursday night, they open up the series. They open up for the semifinals. They actually aren't opening up for the semifinals in that spot. They're gonna be actually the nightcap for that situation. But hopefully they can get themselves to Saturday and either play the Bucks or the Pacers, two division rivals. So this should be a lot of fun. So with that, we're going to move forward to our next topic, and it's going to be the Eastern Conference game last night in the in NBA in-season tournament, and the semis are set. So now you have yourself a very, very fun situation with this. You have Milwaukee beat New York last night. All my New Yorkers called me mad this morning about that. They were so like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you taking it?" Because for my clients, I gave them the over in this game, and I had a buddy that I sent it to as well, and he said that, "Oh man, man, how you playing over tonight?" And guess what? The over was like inevitable happening. Why? Because they lost the game 146 to 122. And it was literally 150 points on the board at halftime, 157 to be exact. So you had that situation work out for you. And then you know what? New York just kind of just gave up last night. Let's keep it real. That game got really hard, and the Bucks got really tall last night. So that's what happened. But all in all, the NBA in season is special because you have the first tournament, and everybody's taking it more seriously than they thought they would. And it's just about being entertaining. See, they had to make it to where the NBA, you don't have to stress so hard about making the playoffs. Let's do a tournament in season, give guys an opportunity to be in a tournament and see how they respond to it. And you see how people have responded to it. You see what's up now. You see a Pacers team that's headed to Vegas, a Pelicans team that's headed to Vegas, and nobody had those teams headed to Vegas. The Bucks getting to Vegas is not a big surprise. The Lakers getting to Vegas is not a big surprise. But those two teams right there getting to Vegas is kind of special because it goes to what I said when I said I like this thing, because a team that was a bad team the year before and they still haven't really been able to get over the hump with the public, they'll come into this situation and they'll be much better for it, because you got to look at it in this sense. You have a team like the Pacers who haven't really done much in the last few years. And now, they have a budding superstar. They have a really good big man. They got a great shooter, Buddy Hield. They got a lot of good pieces on that roster. And then they go ahead and they are actually the one seed on the East side, and they took the tournament seriously. They wound up having one of the better records in the tournament. So that goes to show you that the tournament was worked very well. I thought it was a marketing ploy to, make sure that sponsors were shown a lot more on major broadcasts, but no, this is about the future of the NBA. You need to have this because this is very, very key to the next TV deal. And now you have it to where all these bidders will really be interested because they can all buy these games. That's the thing. Think about that part as well too. And the NBA, we all know that a lot of people want to have the sports book experience. So this was absolutely awesome, the way you present this type of tournament, to where, okay, now we'll take Group C, we'll take Group A, we'll take Group B. And that's, now you break it up. You got 5 different networks showing it. That's awesome. And you know what? That's thinking beyond today. So that's absolutely a gem of an idea. And the NBA is pretty much feeling itself right now because they went ahead and did what soccer has done for years, what the NHL has possibly thought about for years as well too, to bring more interest to your game and to bring more options for your partners. So it was a great experience with this. We're at the semifinals now. We're headed to Vegas. I know this is going to be must see TV. I look forward to tomorrow night, and we will have a great preview for you as well too. So with that, let's move forward. Let's go ahead and jump into our CBB top games tonight. We got some really good games going on tonight as well too. Up first, we got Texas, number 12 in the nation, 6-1, going against Marquette, 6-2. Marquette 8.5-point favorite in this game, over under 151.5. Marquette, Marquette is big time, a big game. You know what I mean? They got a lot of great shooters. They got a great chemistry. They got a great coach. They run a defensive set that could really, end games fairly early if everything goes right, or it can pretty much or if games go wrong. You know what I mean? Because the team can absolutely blow you out when you're playing pressure defense, as long as if they can break the press, you are grass. But you know what? This Marquette team has learned how to really master the press situation. Shaka Smart has pretty much now realized his great potential. He saw that going to smaller schools are better for him. He went to Big Texas Longhorn, his former team, and you know what? It didn't work out. It just didn't. You know what I mean? The guy had top recruiting classes, everything, but he had bad luck with those recruiting classes. Guys that got hurt, guys that transferred, but he still produced about 10 NBA players out that group as well too. So job well done, but that's not good for him moving forward. He wants to win national championships. He wants to play in Final Fours. He doesn't want to be a team that's looked at being overrated. He's back to the underdog feeling. This year, this is Marquette, and Marquette in every sense of the word, but they're the number 8 team in the nation. They're the number 8 team in the nation because they're a team that stuck together. Nobody jumped into a portal or anything like that. No guys went to the NBA really either. So pretty much you have your same unit from last year that was upended in the second round of the NCAA tournament, and they're looking to return to the tournament and actually go ahead and really, see if they can go ahead and cut down those nets in the final game. So, they got expectations, but Texas has expectations as well too. Texas brought in themselves a pretty good coach to fix the situation that occurred last year with Coach Beard, who had to leave, who winds up back at Texas Tech anyway, from what I saw. But, this is something that is going to be very, very staunch here. This is going to be a great game. And I think that they're overselling Marquette tonight. I'm keeping it real. How are they at minus 8.5 favorite? Maybe somebody's out for Texas that's very key and things like that. But this is a get back game at the coach that left y'all hanging. And you know what? There's still guys on that roster that he recruited. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to take the big bet tonight plus 285 money line. I'm going to say it twice. 285 money line plus money, baby, on the Texas Longhorns. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right, so we have ourselves our next game coming up, and that's going to be this. That's going to be the Battle of South Carolina. You got the South Carolina Gamecocks, and then you have the Clemson Tigers. They're both 7-0. Clemson coming in here as an 8.5-point favorite. And then you also have the over-under 139.5. So you know what to expect here. You know that this is going to be a very, very crucial game for bragging rights. You know what I mean? And you have a Clemson team that really wants to establish themselves before they go into ACC play. South Carolina, on the other hand, they're trying to figure out how they're not going to be a walkover in the SEC. But from them being 7-0 from the start, they're probably going to be very good once they get to conference play in the SEC. But I'm looking at this game tonight. You have two teams that are really firing on all cylinders. South Carolina, recent win, won by 22 against George Washington. And then Clemson won a conference game, beating Pitt 79-70, but the significant win that they have was against Alabama, who was ranked at the time, beating them 85-77. And you know what? They got a good win over Boise State. That always is a tough team to beat, and they also beat Davidson as well too. And then you look at who South Carolina beat. These are kind of gimme games, but they do have Notre Dame on the resume as a team that they did beat here, and they also beat DePaul. And they went to Arizona and beat Grand Canyon, who's a good small school. So pretty much this is a very, very good game. It seems like it's going to be kind of even. Both these teams haven't scored a lot of points this year either, but I would say this, the better shooting team is Clemson. And this is why I think Clemson is going to have a really good night, because this team is built up themselves to make a good run in a better conference, in my opinion. And I think tonight this is a establishment game. This is where they want to build a big confidence and tell themselves that they do have the opportunity to be on the court with anybody. So this is actually going to be this is actually going to be me leaning with the favorite here with the -8.5. This will wind up on Talkin Tickets as well too. So if you missed the breakdown of it and you didn't hear me say what the bet was, just wait for Talkin Tickets and we'll go from there. But with that, we're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break. When I get back, we're going to jump into the NBA side of things tonight. Yeah, I know we talked about the in-season tournament and everything, but we do have 5 regular season games going tonight as well too. So let's see how these will set up and what do I have shaking in these spots for you tonight. So you guys stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, we are back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. So pretty much let's go ahead and jump into our next topics. And it's going to be NBA Wednesday night. We got 11 games going tonight. We got a lot of conference games going tonight as well too. We got only one interconference game, and that's early in the day. It's kind of a under the radar joint. And then we got some pretty good we got some divisional games tonight, and then we got some really good interdivision games tonight as well too. So pretty much what are the 5 that are going to be in my group tonight? Up first is going to be the Magic and the Cavs. The Magic coming into this game 14-6. The Cavs are 11-9. You have a -3.5 point to the spread. You also have an over/under of 224.5. When you look at this game, you know you got 2 teams kind of going in the same direction, and that's the playoffs. But the Magic have played to a very, very high level that a lot of people who really don't watch the NBA day in and day out expected. I'm not surprised by any of this. This team wound up finishing the month winning 8 in a row, and then they added another win over Washington, winning 9 in a row. Then they played Brooklyn in Brooklyn, wind up losing by 28 because the team got a little tired. You know what I mean? Then pretty much, you should have expected it because they only beat Washington by 5 points. Then you had Cleveland. Cleveland comes in tonight. This team is kind of struggling because they thought that they were going to be able to pick up where they left off last season, but everybody knows how good they are. They have won their last 3 out of 4 games as well too. That's something that's pretty significant since they had a really rough time with the Lakers where they thought that they could have won that game, but the Lakers really did take care of their business with that. So pretty much, this Cavs team is looking to keep building. They do have a win here this month. The Cavs actually haven't played since Saturday night as well too, so they're very fresh coming into this game. But Orlando is playing with a real chip on their shoulder right now, and it's exciting. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to circle the Magic as my play tonight with the plus 145 money line as the NBA dog of the day. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right. So we have ourselves coming up next. It's going to be this. It's going to be the Nets at the Hawks. The Nets coming into this game 9-10, and you have the Hawks coming into the game 10-9. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Let's flip that around. The Nets are 10-9. The Hawks are 9-10. So this game is going to be in the A tonight. So this should be a lot of fun because you have a Brooklyn team that's not getting taken seriously, but they need to be taken seriously. Come on, they just beat a team that won 9 in a row by 28 points. They come into this one though. They have dropped they're 4-4 in their last 8, and really they're 6-4 in their last 10. And then when you look at it, okay, they have a win this month as well. That's pretty good. And then that was a division rival as well too. So that works out pretty good for the Nets. The Nets are a really good team, and pretty much tonight with Atlanta, they're just making their little journey through the Southeast Conference. Now you have an Atlanta team that just lost to Milwaukee on Saturday night, and they haven't played since Saturday night. So this game is working out pretty good for them because they're part of that dark schedule. They're giving a lot of teams some time off, and that's good because these guys do need time off. And, that's just, we're kind of extending this end of the season, but you know what? The guys are going to really like this because they've gotten time to do other things. So pretty much with that, I'm looking at the situation right now. The Hawks, to finish up the month, they did win their last 3 out of 5, but, they were winning 2 in a row, then losing 2 in a row. They're not consistently doing anything. So right now they're just going through the motions. When I look at the tell of the tape tonight, everything does really tell me that the Hawks have it in them to bounce back and make a good effort at home. So I'm going to take the Hawks tonight with the minus 150. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. But I'm on the Hawks money line tonight, and we move forward from there. All right, let's go ahead and move into our next, which is going to be the Thunder and the Rockets. The Thunder and the Rockets, this one's going to be a doozy. You got the Thunder coming in here 13-6. You got the Rockets 8-9. Minus 1.5 spread to the Rockets tonight, over under 225.5 as well too, actually 226.5. And when you look at this game tonight, the Thunder are playing much better basketball than anybody projected for them this year, and they find themselves in good position, 13-6 right now, and they are trying to make a run at winning the Northwest. Now you look at the schedule, and they did get a good win over the Mavericks. Even after giving up a 30-zip run, they wound up only giving up three points in the end. They actually outscored them 15-3 to win the game. So this team is getting it. And Billy Donovan is just a hell of a coach. Let's all remember that. And this team at one point had won 6 games in a row. Then they lost 2 in a row. And then they came back and they've won 2 in a row. So this team has played really good basketball, and they've actually won their last 8 out of 10. Now they visit this Houston team that's hungry to keep putting themselves in better position to be one of these lower playoff seeds. Udoka has these guys very confident in themselves right now, and that's a beautiful thing to see. Now, the Rockets, they've had a rough little last 2 weeks as well too. Since winning 6 in a row, they've actually finished the month losing their last 5 out of 7, and then they dropped their first game in the month of December. So pretty much they've lost their last. They're pretty much have lost their last 6 out of 8 games. So this is something that got to get fixed very quickly for the Rockets, but they still have time. They got rest right now as well too, so it should be a lot of fun. Last time they played was on Saturday night as well too against the Lakers. So when I see this game tonight, I feel like we got a lot of scoring going on in this game tonight. The scoring will be at an absolute premium. I like the over 226.5. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right, so we have ourselves our next game up, which is going to be the Blazers and the Warriors. So we have the Blazers coming in here 6-13. You have the Warriors 9-11. You have a -12.5 spread here as well, and an over under 226.5. Now, what happened is that I had this earlier at a 13. It's now at a 12.5. So when you look at how this game sets up tonight, you truly tell yourself that, the Blazers are about due to have a big, big win again. You know what I mean? Because they did get a big win last week when nobody saw it coming. And this week, you're going against a struggling Warriors team that's never been good against teams that are below 500. Like, I'm not going to say they've never been good, but these are the games that they usually have hiccups in. And I just feel like the Blazers have some confidence now after being able to hang with Dame's team, then get a big win right afterwards. They became a trusted dog with the double digits. So instead of me going out on a limb and trying to hit a grand slam tonight, I almost did it. I almost gave you guys the plus 500, the 5-1 tonight. But I'm confident in the Blazers to keep this game close. I don't know if they win the game, but giving me 13 points, I'll take it any day of the week with the team that I feel that is starting to gain some confidence. That doesn't mean that they're going to win 50 games or anything. They're just gaining confidence right now. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right, so we have ourselves the final game of the night, which is going to be the Clippers and the Nuggets. And the Clippers and the Nuggets, this game is going to be a good one. We have ourselves a Nuggets team that's getting everything back together. You saw that Michael Porter Jr. was hanging out with Floyd Mayweather last night. So you know what? Hopefully he wasn't too distracted or he took him to any clubs or anything like that. But, Girl Collections is in Vegas, not in LA. So pretty much you got this Nuggets team 14-7. Then you have the Clippers 9-10. And the Clippers are trying to find their mojo with Harden. They've won their last 3 out of 5. The Nuggets were on a little mini winning streak, and then they lost the final month of this. They lost recently to Sacramento. That was another Saturday night game. So pretty much this team wound up doing a lot better finishing up the month because they were having some road woes that was really messing them up. So now this team, once again, back on the road, but they're going against a familiar foe in the Clippers, and the Clippers seem to really be waiting to really go off this year. They're having a real issue getting off the way that they were expected to. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and take the under. I feel like defense is going to be at an absolute premium in this spot. I feel like Kawhi is going to lock it up tonight. Also, Jokic is going to probably have some issues tonight against my boy. His name is slipping my mind, but Zubac. Yeah, he should be having some issues with Zubac tonight. So this should be a very, 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 very good game, in my opinion. I think that we got to go ahead and play the under, though. The 228.5 is just the right play. So with that, let's go ahead and get to our final commercial break. And when I get back, we're going to go ahead and jump into the Talkin Tickets. So you guys make sure to stick around for that. And make sure you're retweeting and doing everything that you got to do when you're watching Talking Tickets, because Talking Tickets is really close to making some of you guys very wealthy bettors and guys that can pay for their house notes and things like that. I'm trying to put people on winter vacations, man. So make sure you're here to watch exactly what the numbers are. Nothing but big value tonight. So you guys stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we're back with the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. So let's go ahead and jump into Talking Tickets. Talking Tickets. What do we have for Talking Tickets? We got ourselves some good tickets. We got some money tickets. We got some big value. But as always, single what you like. Don't just be Don't be just being up in here. All right, Pop, I played this parlay and we didn't hit. No. There's always winners when I put these groups out. So make sure you play the singles that you like, okay, and single it up. You guys don't believe the hype of these people that say they hitting parlays every day. They got to really go ahead and stretch out real value to even be able to do something like that. I'm giving you something you can go home and say, okay, I put $20 on this thing and I can get $960 back on this bad boy. If I lose tonight, it won't be that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and kick it off with Old Dominion tonight, -4. Let's see how that goes. We got Iona +4. Let's see how that goes. We got New Hampshire money line +100 in a 50-50 game. We got Youngstown State in a possible upset +9. Then we got Toledo tonight in a -110 spot. Really, they should have more points on Toledo tonight because Toledo's a pretty good team. And then you got Clemson in the Battle of South Carolina. They should cruise over their disputed rival, the Gamecocks of South Carolina. So there it is, 48-1 ticket, CBB PrimeTime PK6. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. Now, I got the enchilada for you today, the big one, spicy. You know what I mean? Green sauce and red sauce. Let's see how it goes. We got Boston with the +115 tonight. We got Coppin State with the +205 tonight. We got Valpo +140 tonight. And then I told y'all, I'm not playing around. Let's go ahead and stand on some business tonight. Give me Texas +285. The spread looks nice, but you telling me something else, though. You telling me that this team's going to go into hostile territory and send their old coach home unhappy. So give me that +285. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. All right, we are going to end this with the NBA Super High Five. My dog bet of the day is going to be the Magic money line +145. If you want to be a little cute, little slick, say this. Okay, if you was going to put 50 on each game, why don't you just go ahead and say, you know what, let's have some fun. I'm going to put 50 on each game still for the insurance, but then let's go ahead and put another 100 on the actual two-teamer for the Magic and Texas tonight. It might work out for you. So there it is with that. That's a 5-1 ticket pretty much right there. And you put $100 on that, that's a $500 hit. So pretty much, or you could put 50 on it and it's a $250 hit. So You got the Magic plus 145, and then you have the Hawks minus 150, the over 226 with the Thunder and the Rockets, and then you have the plus 13 with the Blazers and the under 228.5 with the Nuggets and the Clippers. This is going to be a 27-1 ticket. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out, and that's going to be the NBA Super High Five for tonight. So with that, we are a wrap on the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles. As I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving, and I'll be back to you tomorrow. Hopefully, Jeff will be able to join us as well too to talk some CBB, talk some CFB as well, because we got bowl games, and then to talk about the semifinals of the in-season tournament for the NBA. So you guys make sure to retweet this show, share this show, like this show, view this show, so we can get these numbers all the way up. So with that, thank you so much. And once again, I am Pop DiBiase, the one and only. And you guys already know what the deal is. This is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles. And I will be back to you tomorrow. You guys have a beautiful day, and be on the lookout for Talkin Tickets to be tweeted out on the Twitter timeline if you need to just read what's on the paper. If you didn't put it in your notes, okay, I got you. I'm going to go ahead and throw it up for you in about 15 minutes. It'll be ready by 3 o'clock, okay? So there it is. There it is. Well, it's already ready, but I'll be ready by 3 o'clock. Get my drift? All right, I'm out of here. I'm gone. Gone.
Now you and your friends.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.